In tonight's news, education officials unveil a new humanities curriculum for primary school students. Police arrest 30 people in a crackdown on compensated dating and naked chat blackmail scams. And Israel continues to bomb Gaza following a delay in releasing hostages and a ceasefire. Starting in the 2025-26 academic year, the general studies subject for primary schools will be replaced by science and humanities. The humanities curriculum is mostly derived from the existing general studies, but children will also study Chinese culture, history, and geography. The 6 categories include health, the environment, and global development. In the personal finance and economy category, students will learn about the economic development of the mainland and Hong Kong. In another category, the country and I, primary 6 students will be taught the importance of national security, while those in primary 5 will study the Belt and Road Initiative. Children are expected to learn about how the government operates and the basic law in the community and citizenship course. The Education Bureau recommended 2 35-minute classes on the subject per week for primary 1 and 2 students, and 2 or 3 classes for older students. Schools are encouraged to devote between 7 and 11 hours each year on outdoor learning or other activities, such as visits to museums and government offices. When asked whether teachers could be penalized if they teach anything that is deemed as negative, Chief Curriculum Development Officer Paul Lee expressed confidence in their professionalism. Maisie Mock, Cable News. District Judge Stanley Chan has ruled that former opposition lawmaker Lam Cheuk-ting, who was charged with rioting in 2019, has a case to answer. Proceedings have been adjourned to March, and Lam, who has been in custody for the past 2 years, will have to testify in court. Lam and 6 co-defendants were present in Yuen Long Station on the night when over 100 white-clad men attacked commuters and protesters. The defendants are accused of helping to stoke the violence. The judge ruled that the co-defendants also have a case to answer.
During a 3-week operation, police arrested 30 people on suspicion of operating compensated dating scams and naked chat blackmail. 37 victims aged 18 to 70 were swindled of a total of $2 million. A 33-year-old businessman lost the most. He handed over $550,000 to a woman whom he got to know through an online dating app. They had agreed on a payment of $3,200 for compensated dating, but the scammer used various excuses to persuade the businessman to transfer money to different bank accounts. The victim never got to meet the woman in person. 25 of the suspects were holders of stooge bank accounts for syndicate members, and 3 others had allegedly allowed their telephone numbers to be used to contact victims. Another suspect had allegedly allowed the syndicate to use his personal information for hotel bookings. Starting on Sunday, an alert system will be rolled out for the Faster Payment System, or FPS. Users will get a warning when they try to transfer money to accounts identified as high risk by the force's scam meter. Officers say swindlers may ask potential victims to use other means of payment. But police hope people will be cautious and conduct a background check even if they do not receive an alert. Janice Low, Cable News.
A worker has been killed after being hit by a reversing drilling rig on the peak. The accident at a construction site on Pollock's Path happened just before noon when the 44-year-old victim was repairing an excavator. He was trapped under the drilling rig with serious leg injuries. and was semi-conscious when he was taken to Ratanji Hospital, where he was declared dead. The Labor Department is investigating the case, which has been classified as an occupational accident. Palestinians who have relatives trapped in Gaza have met Pope Francis in the Vatican, but were disappointed that a humanitarian pause has been pushed back by at least a day. A group of Israelis who met the Pope separately were also disappointed because the release of their loved ones held captive in Gaza was delayed too. Israel, meanwhile, attacked 300 targets in Gaza, pushing the Palestinian death toll higher. More than 14,000 Palestinians have been killed in Israeli airstrikes since the deadly Hamas attack on Israel last month, when hundreds were killed and over 200 hostages seized. Under a deal brokered by Qatar, 50 hostages are to be exchanged for 150 Palestinians jailed in Israel.
More than 5,300 Palestinian children have been reportedly killed in just 46 days. It's over 115 a day, every day, for weeks and weeks. Based on these figures, children account for 40% of the deaths in Gaza. This is unprecedented. In other words, today, the Gaza Strip is the most dangerous place in the world to be a child.
Far-right populist Geert Wilders has won a massive victory in the Dutch parliamentary elections, sending shockwaves across Europe. His Freedom Party won 37 seats of the 150 seats. Wilders, who made a name for himself with his anti-Islam policies, is inviting other parties to join him in a coalition government. The politician, nicknamed the Dutch Donald Trump, wants to keep asylum seekers out of the Netherlands. The elections were called when Prime Minister Mark Rutte resigned after failing to agree on measures to rein in migration.
An operation to free 41 workers trapped for 11 days inside a collapsed tunnel in northern India has entered its final phase. Rescuers in the Himalayan state of Uttarakhand had a setback yesterday when their drilling machine was damaged by metal debris. But work has resumed and the workers could be freed shortly. They were unable to escape when a landslide cut off access. But they were supplied with oxygen, food and water through a narrow pipe. Medics are standing by to treat the workers when they are rescued.
The Hang Seng Index gained 1% today as investors welcomed a sharp reduction in the down payment for second-hand homes in Shenzhen. Mainland developer CIFI Holdings surged 48% and the Agile Group jumped 17%. Chow Tai Fook gained 2%. After the market closed, the Hong Kong conglomerate reported that its net profit for the 6 months to the end of September soared 36% from a year ago to $4.5 billion. An exhibition that aims to help give the elderly more confidence and a better quality of life
has opened with more than 200 booths showcasing 800 products. AI technology gives the show at the Convention and Exhibition Center in Wan Chai a cutting edge, as new systems are launched to meet the needs of senior citizens and their caregivers. The 4-day Gerontech and Innovation Expo offers solutions to benefit the elderly and the rehabilitation service sector. This booth displayed interactive sensory games to build up strength. Also on hand were AI robots that can help detect potential dangers, such as fires. Telepractice platforms on display allow therapists and social workers to conduct online health checks on elderly patients. There's also a choice of easy-to-swallow foods and advice for those looking after the elderly who need help with feeding. Welfare Chief Chris Sun noted that 1 in every 4.5 people in the city is over 65 years old, and 5% of the population are 80 years or older. He said it is important to ensure a good quality of life for senior citizens. Janice Yu, Cable News.